Hey guys, welcome to Coffee+mochi. I'm Christy.
And I'm Maddie.
Welcome to our channel. We are your favorite place for internet lore, pop culture topics, and all things girly.
So, Christy, how was your week? Anything special happen?
Actually, yes. So last time I was talking about how I've officially given up books. I'm not going to be reading, la-di-da. Turns out that wasn't the case because I got a library card, as I mentioned last time, and I had checked out a whole bunch of books for Sid. So I was like, let me go drop these off, and I got completely sucked up. I got like the fiction aisle. I was like all in it. I hadn't been to a library to the adult section because like we go to the library
Kids
a lot
section.
for the kids section to get Sid some videos, but mostly just cool new books. But I actually got a couple books. One of them I'm going to be starting soon. It's called Life's Too Short by Abby Jimenez. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
Okay, so apparently it was like an instant bestseller last year.
Wow, okay.
I never heard of it, but it's supposed to be like this upbeat love story that's supposed to be really cute. And I'm really excited to start reading it. I haven't started yet, but I have a few weeks. So if you guys want to join a book club with me, that would be awesome because we could talk about how you love the book or how much you hate it, whatever. Yeah, I'm super excited for that.
That's really cool. Congrats on your love for books
I
again.
know it's back. Are you reading anything new?
Yeah, I actually just finished this novel. Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna completely wreck the name, but it's called Modao Sushi. You can call it MDZS for short.
Okay.
It's by this author who also has a short name, MXTX. There's an actual name, but I'm not even gonna try. It's actually a really cute series. I really enjoyed it, and I look forward to now reading the live action. Not reading it, watching the live action.
Where do you watch it?
Netflix.
Netflix?
Yes.
And it's called, you said
The Untamed.
MDZS.
Huh?
Oh, wait.
Yes. Okay, so it's called Modao Sushi.
Uh-huh.
But it has an actual American name, but I call it Modao Sushi because that's what I've always called it.
Okay.
But the live action is called The Untamed. It's
Oh,
the
okay.
adaptation of the book. So
Okay.
it's really cute.
Cool. And what's the premise of it?
Okay, I don't want to give away pretty much anything because I want people to actually like get to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's pretty much about this guy who does the right thing no matter what. Like even if everyone else doesn't want him to do the right thing or is against him because he knows it's the right thing. And then he ends up actually passing away, which is pretty sad. But this is a fictional book, so he ends up coming back to life, and no one knows it's him though, except for his best friend. Well, I don't know if you call him your best friend, but this guy he was really close to before he passed.
Okay.
And so pretty much they're trying to figure out how to like get his I can't remember the word, to like restore his honor, kind of, I guess, because everyone thinks he was such a bad guy before he had passed, and everyone had turned against him.
So he has a second chance at life to like fix everything and
Pretty
Wait,
much.
but he comes back as himself, or you said as someone else, right?
Okay, so it's kind of crazy.
Okay, wait. Are there spoilers ahead?
Okay, I'll make sure there's no spoilers.
Okay.
But he comes back, but not as himself, but to us, he looks like himself.
Okay.
I think that's just so the readers don't get confused.
Oh, I see.
But yeah, he's definitely in someone else's body.
Okay, cool. So he's doing the work to fix his name from a night. Oh, okay, that's interesting.
But yeah, highly
Okay.
recommend it. It's a very good book. I do want to say it is a BL. Look that up if you want to know what that is. We'll talk about it later in probably a different episode. But it is a BL. So I just wanted to point that out.
Okay, cool. I'm excited to watch that, but I think I might want to read that too because I'm sure there's a lot more detail.
So much more detail. It's so good.
Okay, all right. I'm excited. I'm going to put that on my list. And I guess one thing that I've been watching recently that I've been actually enjoying, Justin kind of makes me watch a lot of stuff with him, and sometimes it's not super exciting for me. But Peacemaker, have you heard of it?
No.
So he's basically a superhero. He's like an anti-hero. I'm not exactly sure. But Yeah, he was from Suicide Squad, the movie. It's played by John Cena, the Peacemaker, and it's so hilarious. It's so funny. I highly recommend you guys watch it. If you want a breakdown of the episodes so far, Justin actually started a podcast. My husband, your brother, with your other brother.
Yep.
It's called Mighty Nerd Bros. We'll put the link down in the description, or maybe it'll be up here somewhere. But basically, they break down a lot of different shows. It's very nerdy. It's really cool. You should go watch that. But another thing I've been watching recently is an anime that you told me about, which is called Real Life.
Okay, yay.
Okay, so I've watched episode 1, and I feel like a lot of it really gave me anxiety because the first episode. Okay, so basically the protagonist is, he's just unemployable. He graduated from school. He got a job. He left the job, and now no one wants to hire him pretty much. And so he's kind of like kicking himself in the butt. Like, why did I do that? His friends make fun of him. They're like, you need to go get a job. His parents cut him off. Life is horrible for him because he's feeling unsuccessful, inadequate, so many expectations he's not meeting for himself. And what were you gonna say?
Sorry. Did you hear the word? I'm not sure if they mentioned neat yet. N-E-E-T. Did you see that at all?
I
Did they
haven't
call
seen
him
that.
a neat? They haven't called him a neat?
No.
Oh, okay.
Or if they did, I missed it.
Okay.
What's neat?
So a neat is a Japanese term, I guess. Like, and it means that you kind of like withdrew from society.
Oh, like an outcast.
Kind of, and like
Okay.
you've just given up and you just like want to stay in your room and like not socialize with anybody.
Exactly what he's doing. He smokes a lot, he drinks, he's looking for a job, but he's kind of, giving up. And so he gets this opportunity to go back to high school for the possibility of getting a job at the end. And the thought of that terrifies me because there's a scene in the first episode where he's walking. Spoiler alert, he takes the opportunity and he's walking through the aisle trying to find a seat. Oh my gosh, I was like, oh, I forgot how terrifying that is. You're just passing people that, especially on the first day, like if you don't know anybody, like, oh, it's so terrifying. And I was like, please no. I felt so bad for him, and he's just so awkward, and he's just like doesn't know how to, like, he's like, I don't know what to do with my hands kind of thing,
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, I forgot how much I hated high school.
I actually do remember that episode pretty well. Do you remember how he sat in the wrong seat?
Yeah.
And then he was like mortified.
Oh my gosh, it's like the smallest things that you look at as an adult and you're like, that wasn't that big of a deal. But even still, I'm still feeling the anxiety for him. I'm like, oh, high school was the worst.
And then
It was great. I had great friends, but like being in classes where you don't know anybody, it's like, it's
horrifying.
the worst. Yeah.
No, and then he forgot his pencil.
Oh yeah, and it's like, duh, like how could I forget my pencil? Oh gosh.
I just love. I actually am so excited. Like I feel like I'm reliving it through you, which is amazing because it's such a good series to me. I remember reading every single chapter because it's a manga too.
Yeah.
I remember reading it every week when I was updating on Reddit. Actually, there's this Reddit post, and they had every episode before it was published, and I was like, I have to read this. I need to know what's happening.
That's exciting.
And I just remember being so excited. So it's very exciting. I'm gonna actually send you probably
Then also the next time something drops, you need to tell me about it so that I can follow along with it.
like
because,
a TV show.
No, like a manga that I can read online.
Oh, okay.
I laugh.
No, I was just thinking there's so many series you can do that with.
You're like, just like your heart fluttered. You're like, yes.
Wait, do you want something that's like has already like 100 chapters and like now they're still updating, or do you want something that's brand new? Like, what are you feeling? Because I can give you anything.
I want something that's both. But also, I think the only requirement I have, one new term that I learned with this, with Real Life, I was like, of course, researching a little bit, and I saw the term slice of life, which I'm, like, I feel like it's kind of obvious, but for people that don't really know
like what the terminology
is, like, can you explain what that means?
Just like an anime that like just makes you feel, I don't know, like it's part, I don't know how to explain it actually, gosh. It's just what it sounds like. It's like a slice of life, like, you know, anyone could watch it. It could be anyone's life. It makes you feel good about life. I guess maybe that would be.
It's just like everyday situations. It's not too fantastical.
Not at all. It should just be regular life.
It's not like a phoenix rising from the ashes and reincarnating as somebody else.
Yeah. But, I mean, those are amazing too.
Although that one, MDZS, I wrote it down, sounds great. So I'm excited about that one.
It is. But
so I think slice of life stuff, but also you can throw in some fantastical stuff in there too.
Okay, cool. I can definitely find some stuff for you to read. But
okay, cool.
Also, let us know if there's anything you guys want us to read. I mean, right?
Yeah, and then we can review it. I'm always open to new suggestions.
Okay, Christy, so you found some stories for us this week.
Yes, so watching real life actually got me thinking about high school a lot, specifically because I'm like, no one could pay me enough to go back to high school. I had a little bit of friend drama, a little bit of, you know, just peer issues.
I feel like everyone had that.
Everyone probably had that. I mean, it was pretty bad for me in middle school, but yeah, I had some stuff happening in high school, so I thought it would be perfect to talk about friend drama this week.
Okay.
Specifically, how do you know when you have a toxic friend? Is this toxic behavior, or should you drop them, or you think you could probably work it out? So,
okay.
I'm gonna read some stories, and we can talk it through. Can they work it out, or should you just drop this friend and keep it pushing?
Okay, yeah, let's start this.
All right, so first one was actually very recent. It was posted only 2 days ago. So it's really new. I actually haven't read through any of these. This is my disclaimer.
Okay.
Haven't read through any of these. This is my first time reading through it with you. So I don't know what the comments are going to say or anything. So this is like all very new. Okay, here we go. So, title. My friend, 23 male, asked me, 22 female, out, came to visit, and mid-visit changed his mind. What do I do with him? Okay, so they have a short version, but I guess let's just dive into the long version. So, hey y'all, I have a friend. Again, OP is 22, a female, and the friend is 23, a male.
Okay.
So I have a friend who recently told me he has had feelings for me for a long time. Unfortunately, we both graduated and found jobs in different places, so we are firmly long distance now. He's visiting my new place, which we were both super excited about. And before he came, he told me his feelings and said he wants me to be his girlfriend despite the distance. I thought about it and was down to give it a try. We both have little experience in dating and relationships. Well, now he's here. It's been a week. We have a lot of fun, as always, and now we're getting a little physically intimate. But then he drops the bomb on me that he's actually not sure he wants me to be his girlfriend anymore. Dang.
I would be so angry. But, okay. Oh, I don't even know. We haven't read on anymore, how? You shouldn't even say that until after the trip, at least. I don't know, like, or maybe it was right for him to do that.
Maybe it was better to do it face-to-face.
I don't know. I guess, yeah, because, like, if they did,
but then you're, like, sitting there questioning, like, what did I do? What did I do? Why don't
And he's there, so, like, you can't, like, think about it yourself, do you know what I mean? You have to be, like, calm. You can't freak out.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. If he said that, though, I'd be like, okay, I don't know if this is exactly what I do, but then he should have figured out he should have other accommodations, I guess.
Oh, like
because I don't think that's fair to, like, be like, oh, well, you know, never mind, and now I have to, like, torture you the whole rest of the time. Sorry.
Okay, let's read a little bit more and see what's going on here. So, okay, apparently he gave a reason. He said he thinks the distance might be too scary, and he's not sure about his feelings, and he might not want kids in the future.
Okay.
But he still wants to date me exclusively, and he wants to think more about his feelings. I am so confused. Rightly so, OP. And confused is not a good place to be. Apparently, he's had feelings for me for a year, and I literally just agreed to give this a try. And suddenly, he's like, nope. He says he's really sorry about this and he can leave if that makes me more comfortable. Definitely.
100%.
I don't want him to leave. He makes me happy when he's here, but what should I do with him? I think for me, you either date non-exclusively or you are exclusive boyfriend-girlfriend. Or you're friends, of course. Maybe I should tell him that. I also don't feel comfortable with the intimacy anymore without the commitment of boyfriend-girlfriend. So I'll tell him that, but if only he didn't drop this bomb, I would love to kiss and cuddle him more. I'm upset because it feels like he's saying, I like you, but I don't like you enough to be your boyfriend. If that's true, I don't want to date someone who feels like that. I'm feeling scared because even if now he turns around and says, oh, I really want you to be my girlfriend, how can I believe he won't just suddenly change his mind like this again? So instead of the above, should I tell him we should just be friends? But I like him and he's staying in my house for 2 more weeks. Ooh. Why is this so complicated? I almost don't even want to date him anymore. Please help me out.
Do you want to go first or should I?
Do you have thoughts?
I do have a lot of thoughts.
I can see them percolating. Go.
I'm so annoyed with him, honestly. Like, okay, I get he came out there, and he was like, hey, let's try this, and everything. And I think it was actually good of him to say he was having these, like, doubts, I guess.
Yeah.
But at the same time, yeah, she should take him up on the offer that he should be staying somewhere else.
Yeah.
And it's not even because, like, to be mean and be like, oh, well, I hate you now or anything. They can still be friends. But I think that now that she likes him and he's unsure, that it's not fair for her to have to deal with that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just not cool. And I don't know, maybe it kind of to me feels like he might have someone else and he's like, oh, if it doesn't work out with her, then yeah, sure, I'll be with you, but without saying that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like he's keeping her on the back burner.
Yeah, and
I kind of have the same feeling. I feel like there's a reason. I mean, maybe he's just been trying to get to that next level with her, and now that he's there, he's like, all right, I have her on deck, and now I can explore my options. And maybe I know I've experienced not relationships or open relationships with dudes like this, but I know of people who were very, very open with their feelings and been like, I just want to be in an open relationship. And
with you?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
No, I mean, I knew a dude in college who was like, he would date girls all the time and he would just straight up tell them, I only want to be in an open relationship. I don't want to be in anything committed. Okay. And I feel like maybe this is this guy's way of saying that.
Without saying it.
He's like, because he's dropping all the big things. Like, mm-hmm. I don't know if I want kids. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I want to do long distance. Mm-hmm. But
maybe.
Let me just think about it for a little bit. So I think he's keeping his options open.
Mm-hmm. I think that is totally fine, but he needs to express that to her. He can't just be like, oh, maybe one day, or like, you know what I mean? I feel like he just wanted to like get some intimacy out of her, which is also maybe not cool.
See, that's the part that's messing with me, where I'm like, just drop him. But I think if it's easy for OP to just have something casual with him, mm-hmm, then I think fine. She should, do whatever she wants. She wants to cuddle, she wants to kiss, do it. But if it took her this long to get to this point and she really likes him, mm-hmm. she really likes being around him, I don't know that it's gonna just, like, she can just easily detach from him.
I feel like she's going to, like, get more and more feelings and he's not, mm-hmm. and then she's gonna get hurt if they go further. I don't know how far they went.
Yeah.
What the intimacy means, but if, like, she keeps on doing intimate things with him, she's gonna maybe feel more for him. I know that, like, that's not every person, but, like, she might start to have more and more feelings, and then she might be like, oh, it's okay, if, we could do it however you want.
Right.
Which, that's gonna suck for her in the end.
Right.
So, I don't know. I think she should just dump him. Like, not dump him as a friend. Like, if she wants to keep him as a friend, who cares? Mm-hmm. But,
so in terms of, because I didn't realize this was not going to be a friend drama story.
It kind of is a friend drama. They're friends.
It's kind of friend drama, right? Because the question is, do you keep him as a friend? Do you continue dating openly? Oh, but he did say exclusively. He still wants to date her exclusively. So what does that mean? Does it mean that he wants her to date him? Exclusive. Exactly. and no one else? Or is it that he wants it both sides? He just doesn't want to be boyfriend, girlfriend. He just wants to keep talking or whatever.
I don't know. But they need to have a further conversation.
I think so too.
Because she needs to find out, what that means. Like, is she the only one that's being exclusive? And, sorry, I'm just very annoyed by this whole situation. I just feel like they need to have more of a talk and figure out if this is worth ruining their friendship over, like them going more seriously into this.
Yeah.
Or if they'd rather just stay friends.
He said, don't you dare. Oh, she's getting comfortable.
That's so sweet. Oh, this is Lisa, by the way.
This is Lisa, if you guys can't see.
She was the one that was running in the last video. She's a very sweet cat.
She's part of, she's with us today.
Yes.
Okay, top comment on this says, he sounds like an overthinker. At that age, I was too. He probably is too scared to mess it up that he is now messing it up.
You know what? We did have some friends that did not want to end up being together because they didn't want to mess up their friendship. Or at least the guy did.
That's true.
So.
That happens. I think at my big age, I'm just like, it's so much easier for me to just be like, nah. Just like, I know, but I have to remember, 23 male, 22, she's 22. That's pretty young.
Yeah, and she's probably like swooning over the guy.
Okay, can I read this comment that I feel like is really
good?
Really, I think this is encapsulating everything that I feel.
Okay, yes.
Okay, this commenter says, he is saying that he doesn't like you enough to be his girlfriend. Mm-hmm. When someone tells you who they are, believe them. I would let him go home if I were you. Not even the first week, and it is too complicated. If he had any doubts about you and you were certain of him, you wouldn't be on Reddit asking people what to do about a man who doesn't want to be your boyfriend. No offense. Seriously, you're headed for an emotional entanglement that would be difficult to get out of if you let him stay. Tell him you feel the same, and he probably needs to go back home. The playing field has completely changed, and you are not required to keep him up. He might say that he has changed his mind, but that is only so you will continue to be intimate. Don't fall for it. You deserve better.
That is 100% correct. You're right. That is the perfect comment. Yes, that's exactly
how 100% agree with everything that said, and we can,
That was perfect. There's really nothing else to say after that, so let's move on.
Check the gate. All right. Yeah, that's crazy. Next one is a little bit spicier, but if there's anything a little too crazy in here, I will edit as I go along. I haven't read this one either, but it's hella long. Okay.
Wait, did you hear what you just said?
What?
Hella?
I know.
That's
it's the NorCal coming out.
I just wanted to point that out.
I can't help it. It's in me. Okay. So, this one says, this original poster is 23 female. Friend, 23 female as well, sent nudes to my husband, who is 31 male, and he rejected her but never told me anything. Okay, so this one might, we'll see where this goes, but this one might also be more relationship than friend.
But I mean, we can discuss the friend portion because, what the heck?
That already is bad.
So horrible.
Let's see what she did about that. All right. Sorry if this was too long. I did my best to summarize. When we were in our senior year of high school, husband was our substitute teacher. And also, obviously, all the girls liked him because he was the only young teacher we had. And I'd be lying if I said that no one ever tried to flirt with him, because we all did at the time. But he was always very professional and never tried anything with any of us.
Just sounds like bull. That sounds like BS because he ended up marrying one of his students.
Clearly.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
Go on.
Wait, and she's only 23. What the heck? All right, sorry. Okay, wait. They're in high school. Let's pretend. I don't know if they say what year it was in, but let's say.
Okay, let's say it was
he's 8 years older than her, so she was 16.
24.
24.
She's still a child.
She's still a baby. All right. It's not a baby, sorry. 16-year-olds are are not babies, but
they're still kids.
That's still a significant difference, especially in like thought processes, right? Like how you think about the world at 16. Some kids are
more mature,
but 24 is old enough to know better.
Yeah.
Okay. He and I met again a year after my graduation, and that's when we started dating. And at first, my friend used to joke, saying things like that I was very lucky to have what everyone wanted in high school and such. And at first it was funny because things between my husband and I weren't that serious, but then our relationship became like really, really serious, and I didn't like those jokes anymore, and I let her know, and she stopped. And for years, she never did those kinds of jokes again. She got a boyfriend too, so I thought all those things she said were part of the past. They're still 19, right?
Yeah.
But it was not like that. A few days ago, I was taking pictures of our baby and our dogs with my husband's phone, since his phone is 1,000 times better than mine. And at that moment, he received a DM from an anonymous Instagram account. So I opened, and I didn't like what I saw at all, because it was a video of my friend being inappropriate.
I don't even know what to say. Okay, keep on going.
Just so you know, the post uses spicier details, but we will link
Yeah,
to
you can
the
read
story.
it if you want.
Can read it on your own. At first, I was too naive and thought, well, maybe she sent it to the wrong person. But then she said something like she was mad that he blocked her main account and asked him if he liked the other videos, which means that she sent him other videos from her main account. So I found the chat, and yes, he had blocked her, but the chat was still there, which means he can see those pics and videos whenever he wants, and just thinking about it makes me feel really sick. In that chat, she confessed that she has always been in love with him, and that her boyfriend doesn't satisfy her because she can only think about him, and that she knows that lately he's not having much fun, and if he wants, she can quote unquote give him a hand without anyone knowing.
Is that okay?
Never.
No, I mean, like, to say.
Oh. I think it's fine.
Okay.
I think you meant, is that okay for a friend to do? And that hurt me so much, because a few weeks ago we talked about how I felt ashamed of having sex again because I gave birth 2 months ago, and that I feel insecure about my body. But I told her that as good friends that I thought we were, because I expected her to give me advice or something. I don't know. I didn't expect her to try to sleep with my husband. And the only thing my husband told her was that she was crazy, and that he was going to show me that chat so that I can see who she really is, and then he blocked her. But it's been a few days, and he never showed me those chats, and that makes me think that maybe he liked those pics and videos. So I confronted him, and he told me that he doesn't even care about her, and that he didn't tell me anything about those messages because he didn't know how to tell me, and because he thought that finding out about that could have been bad for me. I had a really bad time during my pregnancy, and he's been very concerned about my health ever since. So that's why he said that. And he told me that's why he locked himself in his office every time she came to visit us, because she makes him feel uncomfortable. That's fair.
I don't have a husband, so I don't know. Like, would you be mad, though, if, like, I don't know. Like, I just don't have that situation.
There's just so many layers to this.
Okay, finish.
There's still 2 more paragraphs.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I asked him if he thinks our intimate life is boring, and he said no, that he's satisfied and that he didn't mind not having relations for weeks, because when we had relations again, it felt like the first time. And hearing that was really nice, but I can't stop thinking about why he didn't delete the chat. He says it was so he could show me when he's ready, but I really don't know. Now we're on vacation, but all I can do is think about that. Even every time we have relations, I think that maybe I'm not enough, and that's why he didn't delete the chat, to see her pics and videos. And he noticed that, so he told me 1,000 times that he thinks I'm hot, and that he only thinks of me when we have relations, and that he only saw those pics and videos when he opened the chat the first time, and that he never saw them again. It says he swore he doesn't even think my so-called friend is attractive, and I want to believe him, but at the same time I feel confused. We've been together for 5 years, and I never felt that way, and I don't know what to do to stop feeling that way. Maybe it's the hormones, I don't know, but I feel so sad and so bad about myself, and I would like to know how I could deal with this. Okay, so I think she doesn't mention it, but I feel like she's pretty clear on not being friends with her friend anymore. Because that's kind of the worst friend ever.
I mean, she didn't say that she wasn't going to not be friends with her, but I would be surprised if she would want to stay friends with someone like that, because, like, that just sounds like the worst friend ever. Like, okay, imagine if, like, one of your friends did that with just, like, first off, Justin would, like, be calling you in 2 seconds, though.
Yeah,
like,
he would tell me immediately.
Oh my gosh, right? That would be him.
Yeah, for sure.
But, like, yeah, I don't have a husband, but I could imagine being really, really angry. But I don't know, is that okay? Because he did say he wanted to tell her, but he just didn't know how to. Like, I actually understand that.
Honestly,
But I don't know.
my perspective, it's only been a few days. This literally happened. It's been a few days. And I get from her perspective, this feels like a lifetime because clearly they've had relations multiple times since then, which I'm like, how often are you doing this? But, like, because according to her, she's like, every time we have relations, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, first of all, y'all are pretty healthy. But also, like, yeah, I can see how a few days can feel like a lifetime. But I don't know. Maybe it seemed like, based on what she said, based on all the information we have about what he's telling her, it sounds like he's really trying to, he was really trying to just come up with the best way to tell her. Obviously, she had some issues when she was pregnant. Mm-hmm. He knows that she's very fragile. It's been 2 months since she had a baby. That's actually really fast to start having relations after having a baby. They say you should wait 3 months.
I saw this TikTok the other day. I don't know what. I think because you were pregnant at one point and my phone knows you were pregnant, or that, like, there was going to be a baby in my life. So I got a bunch of pregnancy TikToks. Yeah. And it was like, you shouldn't have a baby for, like, the first, I don't remember, it was like 6 weeks or something, at least.
Oh, I think it is. Yeah, I think you're right.
But then that was when the woman was talking to a male doctor. But then when, in reverse, it was, like, with a female doctor. Mm-hmm. And she was like, as long as you want, 6 months, a year, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever, like, feels comfortable. So I think it just depends on the person. I don't know. I've never had a baby.
I had to do a quick Google search because I wasn't, after I said it, I wasn't sure. I was wrong. It says that technically, 4 to 6 weeks for your body to heal and be ready to have relations again. But, agreed, my doctor told me the same thing. She said, wait as long as you want. Like, so, I mean, it's been 2 months, so she clearly feels comfortable doing whatever again. And he understands that she's in a very fragile state. So it seems like he's doing everything he can to make sure that she, doesn't freak out. This is horrible information to have to tell somebody.
I get that, but, like, I feel like at the same time, because he didn't tell her right away, now there's going to be this, like, this issue between them where she doesn't trust him as much anymore, which sucks because I don't think it's his fault.
It doesn't seem like he did anything.
So it just really sucks for him, I guess, because, like, now she's gonna be questioning for the rest of her life. Oh my gosh, is he, like, looking at other pictures of other people? Oh my gosh, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which isn't fair because I don't think this is his fault at all.
I think the mistake here that he made is that he has felt uncomfortable around her friend for a long time. Mm-hmm. And instead of saying something to her like, hey, your friend's off. Like, your friend is, making flirtatious comments or giving me the winky eye or whatever. Instead of telling her that, he just hides in his office whenever she's there. And having a husband, I mean, or even just, like, being in a relationship for a long time with one person, I know that sometimes your significant other doesn't want to be around certain people for other reasons. Like, it doesn't have to be that the person makes them uncomfortable or whatever. They're just like, I don't like that person. Or maybe, like, they're just like, oh, trying to be respectful of girl time or whatever. Yeah. So for me, that's where I'm coming from. That's what I'm understanding. I'm not automatically assuming that this makes you uncomfortable. So I feel like he should have said something a long time ago. Yeah. Because,
this just kind of makes him look bad.
It's her best friend.
And this makes him look bad because now it's like, oh, well, so this has been going on for a while and you haven't mentioned it. Like, how can I trust you? I feel like there's a lot of, like, trust issues now. Yeah. Because of this. But I get it because, like, if you have a best friend, you're significant other doesn't want to ruin that because they obviously love you and they know that you love your friend.
Right.
So this is like a really crappy situation. I don't know if that's an okay word, but that's
Can
how
I
felt.
say though, like if it were the shoe were on the other foot, how would you handle the situation if you had a significant other's friend that was making you feel uncomfortable, that you felt like you couldn't be in the same room with that person? How would you tell them, or would you keep that from them?
I think in the beginning, I would try to see if I could fix it just by being like, hey, you're making me uncomfortable. Can you not?
Mm-hmm.
But that also scares me because I'm like, well, what if, like, the person
They're
retaliates and, like,
yeah.
says, hey, she's making me uncomfortable. Do you know what I mean?
Would you say it in front of your significant other, or would you pull him aside and be like, hey, you gotta stop that. That's weird.
I don't know. I don't know, because I'd want to resolve it without my significant other knowing. But maybe that's the wrong way, because, like, I feel like that's the way where you lose the trust. I think maybe it's better to just tell your significant other right away, no matter what. Because, like, they're supposed to be your best friend, right? They're supposed to be the person you tell everything to.
That's true.
So I think probably you wanting to handle it yourself is because you don't fully trust your significant other to not freak out. Mm-hmm. So I guess the best way is to tell them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought about that unless we talked about this right now, though.
That's true.
But that sounds like the more logical way.
I feel like the more secrets you keep, the worse it is in the end. So, 100% agree with communication is the best policy. Top comment says, it seems pretty clear to me he's being completely honest. It's not an easy conversation to say, hey, your friend is trying to seduce me, and you've been clear that you're more self-conscious right now. He probably didn't feel like it was the best time, and if he was really trying to hide it without showing, he'd save the pictures and delete the chat.
That's true.
Hey. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that this guy just didn't know what to do, was scared because he didn't know how his wife would react, and she was in a fragile state. Now, could all of that be a lie? Possibly, but I agree. Like, he could have tried to hide it.
That's true.
And the fact that he kept it kind of does show that he didn't care. In a way. Do you know what I mean?
The fact that he kept the chat?
Yeah, like, he was just like, whatever, I don't care. I don't know. Am I wrong?
That's the only part I'm weird about. Because I'm like, maybe he could have taken screenshots of the chat showing that, and then taken a screenshot of her account showing that he blocked it. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too much into this.
Well, to me, I'm just thinking he wants proof. Because to me, I'd be like, I want proof that this happened. Yeah. And I don't want this to be like,
oh, you photoshopped it.
Yeah. So this is proof that it actually happened that I can show you later.
Proof. Yeah.
Because if you just take a screenshot, it doesn't really come
across the same.
Also, you know what I would have done? I probably would have reported that behavior to Instagram, because Instagram will, like, delete her account.
That's true.
But, I mean, I'm a bit more petty, so.
Same.
But, yeah. Okay. Are you ready to move on to the next story?
Yeah. All right. So we have one more story, and by the title, it actually looks like it's friend drama. So, success. So, one win for the day. All right. Title is, broke up with two best friends and not sure how to handle the pain. I, female 27, have broke up with friend A, female 26, about 1.5 years ago. It was the beginning of 2020. We were spending a lot of time at home. She was very much involved with the issues I had with my boyfriend. I wanted to break up with him. I constantly felt insecure around her and that I was doing something wrong. At one point, she sent me a message that she really didn't like how I was treating her, that I was allowing myself too much, and that I didn't value her as a friend. I could not relate to this because I valued her very much, and I loved her very much. We were super close, and she was like my family. I still don't know what it was that I did so terribly to hurt her. I also felt the need to separate her from myself, because I felt that she was constantly criticizing me, and I grew more insecure about myself. And now, 1.5 years later, when someone talks to her in a group of friends, I feel very awkward. I don't know much about her life anymore, and that I'm left out of it. The other story is with friend B, female 27. This happened about half a year ago. It was a third friend we were both close to with friend A. She slowly stopped talking to me and then unfollowed me on Instagram, and I've decided to address that with her in a message. Basically, I asked why I was not part of her marriage, and she didn't tell me she left the country. She basically explained that for some time she didn't feel our friendship was fulfilling her, and that I was jealous of her, and that was because I didn't deal with my own stuff, etc. It kind of sounded to me as if I was being toxic to her. I was glad I asked directly and she shared how she felt, but it hurts to realize you can actually be that person that you advise your friends to cut off the relationship with because they're not good for you. I could not relate 100% to it because I do know I was going through stuff and was talking about it, but I didn't know that other people can give up on me just because of that. All in all, these two situations really hurt me. I realized that I really love the first friend and her rejection really hurts. With the second friend, I kind of let her go. I'm a bit offended that she let me go, but kind of get her point. But they both give me the feeling that there's something wrong with me when your two best friends abandon you. Tell me, guys, if you felt something similar and how you got out of the constant avalanches of negative feelings associated with them. Oh,
Wow.
that sucks.
I guess for me, the problem is that two of her friends, like, didn't want to be friends with her anymore.
Yeah.
And that's concerning. So I'm not sure if there's, like, a behavioral thing that's going on that she's doing that she
On
doesn't
OP's
realize.
end?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, I'm not saying that it is her fault. She could just have friends that are not, like, wanting to be her friend. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It sounds like they have okay, this is my understanding. It sounds like they have a pretty tight-knit group. It's like a trio. And one friend unfriended her.
Mm-hmm.
And then it seems like a year ago. Yeah, a year later, the other friend unfriended.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if maybe the two are related, but not in the sense that you're saying. Like, maybe it's not so much that OP is a toxic person, as much as it's one of the other friends that was maybe
made her look bad or something.
This is all like, first of all, this really sucks because breaking up with friends is not easy, especially when you consider them like your whole friend group. Yeah. And that's like two friends just breaking up with you. That sucks.
I can kind of relate in a way. When I was going to college, I made two really good best friends. Like, I thought, oh my gosh, these people are going to be like my friends forever. And one of them, I don't talk to very often. Like, it's not like I'm not friends with either of them. But one of them, it fizzled out because we're not close anymore because I live, 5 hours away.
The distance kind of drew you guys apart.
Yeah, and we used to, like, hang out every single day. But, now we're not, like, hanging out every day. So we just don't message each other anymore. And my other friend, who was also up there, we just don't talk as much as we used to. And, I mean, it's not the same, but I get, like, that sadness of, like, not getting to talk to these people that you're so close with anymore. It's really sad. I totally get that. Luckily, I do have other friends that I literally talk to every day. So, like, it's not as hard. But if these are her only two friends, that would really, really suck. And this started in 2020. And it's really hard to make friends right now. Mm-hmm. You have no really way to make any friends unless you're online.
That, to top off the fact that it's really hard to make friends right now because of the way the world is, it's already really hard to make a friend in your late 20s. You know what I mean? Like, how do you make friends? You make friends at work, or you make friends when you go out. And guess what? You can't do right now either. Like, this sucks. But you know what? The more I think about it, we don't know the other sides of the story. We only know OP's version. Yeah. And although OP is like, I'm not a toxic friend, or maybe I am and I didn't realize it, but these are the reasons these people gave me, we can only believe what we're reading. And from what we're reading, it seems like she was a toxic friend.
The thing is, I agree with you, yes. But at the same time, I'm like, that's not fair because she's here. Like, she's messaging us. Like, I don't know. I feel like if you're a toxic friend, you're not going to be writing here that. You're going to be like, oh, well, whatever. They're, like, horrible people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to care.
You're not going to be empathizing with what they're probably going through.
Yeah, at least that's how I feel. I could be wrong, but I don't know.
Honestly, friendships end for so many different reasons. And I think if maybe they just met their expiration date and they were like, I'm tired of hearing your problems. I don't want to be your friend anymore. Which is really sad because you would think that, you know, if you really care about somebody, their problems are your problems, you know? I mean, maybe that's not the most healthy way to think, but that's kind of how I think too. Like, that's just how I think of friendships, you know?
Yeah, but also there are friendships that like you don't talk every day, but you're still friends. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And it
sure.
sounds like they didn't even want to do that.
They didn't even want to have like a distant relationship. Like, okay, so the second friend, right? Where she says, she asked why she wasn't part of the marriage, so I'm guessing she wasn't in the wedding. She wasn't asked to be a bridesmaid.
Yeah.
And also she went out of the country and she never told her. But it's really sad that the other friend felt like the friendship wasn't fulfilling her, because that makes it feel like she was
good
only
enough.
in it for the time when she was getting something out of it.
Yeah. And that to me sounds like she was kind of using her in a way. I don't know what she was using her for, but it just doesn't sound like that person was even a good friend if it's only for that type of reason. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, okay, just because, I have this toy, you want to be my friend?
Right.
So, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And then once the toy's old, it's like, Maddie, that toy is so last year. I need to find friends with
a newer
toys.
Toy. Yeah.
But she also, OP says, that this friend B, said that OP was jealous of her and that it was because she didn't deal with her own stuff. So it sounds like maybe she was so consumed in
something
this
that we don't know
friend's life that she wouldn't. So I'm like, okay, well, if she's saying that, maybe there's a reason for it. And again, like, I'm not trying to defend OP and be like, oh, like, there's, like, you're such a great person. Like, they shouldn't have left you. But because I don't know what this person was doing, but whatever it is, I'm sure they're going to learn from the situation, because it sucks being left, especially, like, I've had a situation where I had a friend that just ghosted me, and I was like, what happened? Like, why aren't we friends anymore? And there was never any resolution. So at least they told her it wasn't what she wanted to hear, but she knows.
That's crazy. I didn't know that happened to you. That happened to me too.
Girl?
Yeah, so I went to high school, a specific high school, because my best friend at the time was going to that high school. And then about probably like a month into it, she stopped talking to me completely. And I was heartbroken. Like, I was crying all the time because she was been my best friend for 8 years.
Oh my gosh.
And I was completely heartbroken. Probably to a point where I shouldn't have been, but it was because, like, we were family. Like, completely family. I went to all of her, like, family parties and everything because, like, that's how much of family I was.
Yeah.
And then she just literally stopped talking to me, and she never told me. And I texted her, like, hey, are you okay? What's going on? And then she texted me, don't ever talk to me again or something. And I was like, what? So I texted her, I was like, are you okay? Are you okay? And she just, like, completely stopped, and she wouldn't look at me at school. We had a class together, and she'd, like, look at me and laugh and stuff, and I was just heartbroken.
Oh, no.
And I literally, at the time, I had no friends, because she was my friend, like, and we were, like, gonna, like, be best friends and hang out every day, But she also, for her culture, she had a bunch of friends already at the school that she, like, could hang out with. And I didn't have that. So it was just really hard for me. I was, like, so torn up that I actually, like, had to go to the counselor and say I need to be put in a different class because I cannot handle this anymore. And I was like, I just am not going to come to class if you don't switch me. And they're like, fine, this is the last time. And then I didn't have to deal with it anymore because the next year I took the CHISP, which allows you to, like, leave high school early, and I went to community college. So I was only in school for 2 years, high school.
That's how you do it. You're like, peace.
Pretty much.
I'm out of here.
But before I left, I did make my best friend, Ani. So she is, like, my actual best friend now, which is amazing. And we've been best friends for, like, almost 10 years.
And I'm sure you can tell the difference between how that friendship feels compared to the other friendship.
100%. The other friendship, I think we was actually kind of ending anyways. And maybe she saw that sooner. But it still hurt, and I wish we could have had some type of closure. But I just learned that she wasn't the right friend for me, and I'm so grateful because I would have never met my best friend. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah, you gotta see the bright side. I don't want to end this without giving OP some advice, because literally this is in the relationships subreddit,
Yeah.
and so they're looking for some
help. So, sorry, I don't want to cut you off.
No.
But I think we're kind of the best people to give her advice in a way because we've both been through this.
Yeah.
So, what's your advice?
I think my advice is just, unfortunately, the most simple advice, which is time heals all wounds. All you gotta do, I mean, the only thing you can do is just keep your head up and know that with time you will, when the world opens back up again, there will be more situations, more opportunities to meet new people, maybe connecting with people that you haven't spoken to in a long time. Maybe they're not super close, but the main form of communication right now is virtual. So maybe just reaching out to people, sliding into some DMs and trying to make that connection with people that maybe you've entertained a friendship with but never really engaged anything, because you had this friend group that fulfilled you, and now you have some slots open. So
For better friends.
Exactly. That's all I can say.
So what I want to say is that, okay, I'm not sure, if you want to, but the anime community will welcome you. I know that sounds really silly, but if you like cartoons, you'll probably like anime. And even if you don't like anime, if you like video games or if you want to try video games, there's so many different communities you can join and you can make friends. I know a lot of people that just have so many online friends, and that's amazing, and that'll give you more connections if you're sad right now, and it'll make you feel like, you're part of a community even. And I highly recommend that. Not specifically just anime, but anything. I'm sure there are knitting clubs. I'm sure there's, tons of clubs that are doing stuff online right now that you can search for. Reddit has tons of communities. I'm sure you can find people on Reddit even that you can talk to. Definitely, if you're going to do anime, though, or video games, get a Discord. That'll help a lot. And just, find other activities that you can do now. But I also just wanted to say that it probably took me about 7 or 8 years before, I forgot about my best friend's birthday. Or, actually, I still know her phone number by heart, because back in the day, you had to, actually, dial everything. So I actually know it. I don't want to say her number, but, I could still...
Can I age you a little bit?
Huh?
Can I age you a little bit? When did you get your first cell phone? How old were you? You don't have to tell me the year.
Okay, So, my biological father gave me a phone, when I was 7 or 8.
Dang, that's young.
It was a peanut phone. It was shaped like...
phone?
Oh, that's what I called it. I'm sorry. It's shaped like a peanut. It was gray. It had a little antenna on the side. But, I only used it when I was at his house. So, it wasn't, a phone I kept all the time. My first phone that my mom gave me, which is the phone, I used everywhere, was the Razr phone. It was a pink Razr phone. And that was, how old was I? I was 10, yeah, because I was in 5th grade.
My sister had a pink Razr, too.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Was that her first phone, though?
I think that was her first phone.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I just begged my mom. I was like, my brothers already have phones. And she was like, yeah, but they're, older than you. And I was like, I need one, too. And luckily, she went for it.
That's awesome. I had to look it up. My first phone. It's been so long. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, my first phone was a flip phone, and it was that bubbly LG music phone. It was the LG VX 8300, according to the Googles.
I need to look this up and see what... Oh, I see.
You remember that one? And it was in that dark gray color, too. And then I got the red version. But the whole deal was, it could play songs. You could save songs to it. And it was...
No, okay, this is going to make us sound very, very old. But do you remember when you would have to, record your song you wanted to be your ringtone?
Yes.
I remember that.
I remember that. But with this phone, you didn't have to do that. You could just download ringtones. It was like the music phone.
I see. Okay. Gosh.
And I was like no. Yeah, I was like 16. It was when I got my first job. That was my first purchase.
No, so I remember 5th grade. So I had the Razr phone, which is an okay phone, but like the cool phone at the time was the LG Chocolate. I don't know if you remember
I
that.
remember that.
The LG Chocolate. That was the phone to have. Let's Google
I
it.
had to look it up.
I remember there was
the slide.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was a sleek phone.
Right. I wanted the pink one so badly.
I feel like my mom had that one.
It was so cute.
That one was sick.
That was like the phone to have.
Yeah.
And then I remember someone in 5th grade also had this phone. It's like a microphone. It was like this big.
My mom had that one. It was a teeny phone. I'm gonna Google. I love that we're just Googling stuff now. Yeah, I remember that one.
It was, gosh, we're so old now. But hey, you can see that there's like an age gap between us. She's talking about high school. I'm talking about 5th grade. I just want to point that out.
There you go. That's the age gap right there. It's like a solid 10 years. Or like 8, 9, I don't know.
7.
You're like, I'm not counting or anything, but okay. So that's our stories for the week.
Yeah, I hope you guys liked it.
No actual friend drama. Sorry to disappoint.
No, the last one had some friend drama.
The last one was filled to the brim.
I think that kind of made up. Oh, sorry.
For the first two, right?
Yeah.
I agree.
No, but I feel like the second one was even friend drama.
The second one, yeah, that was
It wasn't
probably
specifically
the worst friend on the planet. That was the worst.
I totally think that was pretty crazy, though. The last story kind of made up for the other two, no matter what. But the other two did have some friend element.
Yeah.
So I think it was fine.
All right. Whatever you say, Maddie. All right, so next week we're going to be talking about
all of the TV shows that we have been watching.
Yes, we will update you guys on all the different shows that we're watching, so you guys can get back to us and tell us whether you're watching the same shows. You can join along with us, and because I know that I have started a lot of new seasons, so I'm excited to see
how they go.
Yeah, and I want to bond with you guys on that. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to talking to you guys about some animes. That's going to be super cool.
Yep.
So, yeah, we'll see you next week or probably sooner than that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. Bye, guys.
Oh, make sure to follow us on all the socials. We're on Instagram. We have a discussion group if you'd like to talk about this episode on Facebook. There is a gate, so you will have to answer some questions to get in. But yeah, meet us there, anywhere on the internet. Make sure to like and subscribe to this channel to get more and get notifications for when we post new videos. As Maddie mentioned, we will be doing a couple episodes this week, so you are gonna see another one soon, so make sure you have those notifications on so you know when it drops. And there is a link in the description, so if you guys shop at Dashing Diva, make sure to click that link so that we get a little bit of commission from that. Help buy us a coffee for our next episode. And that's all I have to say today. Thanks for joining us on Coffee+mochi. Again, I'm Christy.
And I'm Addie.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye!
I need some coffee.